Did you know that only about 9% of people successfully achieve their New Year's resolutions? And 80% of people abandon them by February. What if this year could be different? In this episode, I'm sharing 5 powerful steps to help you set goals that stick, incorporating proven frameworks and the 7 types of goals to create a balanced plan for success. Plus, I'll share some of my own big goals for 2025, and we'll hint at some exciting changes coming up in the next few weeks. Trust me, this episode will set the tone for your best year yet. Welcome to The Outdoor Agent, where real estate and the great outdoors meet. I'm Dakota Oshley, a real estate professional from Griffin, Georgia, and I have a passion for tracking down more than just the perfect property. Here, we're going to explore not only the world of real estate, but also dive into a bit of the outdoor life that I enjoy. Whether you're here for real estate insights, a few laughs, or stories from the field, you're in the right place. So let's get into it. What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the Outdoor Agent Podcast. I am Dakota Oshley, and I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas holiday. As we set our sights on 2025, I want to talk about something that is really important to be thinking about as we go into New Year's Eve and New Year's. And this is a topic that can truly change the course of your year. And what is it? Well, it's goal setting, guys. Now, I know we've all heard the phrase, new year, new me. But here's the thing. Most goals fail because they're vague, unrealistic, and they lack a plan. But what if you approach your goals differently this year? Today, I'm going to break down 5 steps that will not only help you set meaningful goals, but will also create a clear, actionable plan to achieve them. We'll talk about SMART goals and the 7 types of goals to balance your life. And I'll even get into some of my goals for 2025. But before we can look forward, we got to take just a quick second and look back. And that is step 1, reflecting on the past year. Guys, 2024 was a tough year, but a good year for me. And I'm sure a lot of folks listening can relate to that. It was tough. But one of the first steps that you need to take to set goals for 2025 is to look back at 2024 and write down what worked and what didn't. And most importantly, what did you learn from your wins and your losses? It might even help to grab a piece of paper to just write it down. Write down 3 wins and 1 big challenge for 2024. If you have more than one, write them down. And then break them down into trying to analyze why it worked, why it didn't, how you won, how you failed. That way you know what you can change and tweak going into 2025. Reflection is a foundation of intentional goal setting, and it shows you where you've been so you can plan for where you're going. And going is exactly where we're going to in step 2. Guys, there is 7 types of goals, and I'm pulling this from Dave Ramsey and the Ramsey Solutions. I don't know if they came up with it or not, but I thought it was really good, so we're going to just jump right into it, guys. They have identified 7 types of goals, and I feel that this is something that really rounds out a whole life, right? Number 1 is financial goals. That's goals that improve your financial health. That could be saving $10,000 by the end of the year or paying off that pesky student loan debt that you've had hanging over your head. Number 2 is career and business goals, and that just tracks the progress of your profession. Maybe you're wanting to ask for that big promotion that you feel you're entitled to, or maybe you're in commission and you want to set a pretty big sale goal. Number 3 is your personal development goals, and those focus on learning and growth. Maybe you want to read a certain number of books this year. Maybe you want to attend a certain seminar or achieve a certain accreditation. Number 4 is everyone's favorite for New Year's, and that's your health goals. And those enhance your physical and mental well-being. And that could be as simple as saying you're going to exercise 4 times a week, or prioritize a diet, or focus on your mental health. Number 5 is family goals. And those just strengthen relationships. And that can be as simple as saying that you're going to take a family vacation. Maybe you've been so focused on some of the other types of goals that you've let your family kind of go by the wayside. Maybe you need to round everybody up and go have meaningful time together this year. Number 6 is spiritual goals, and those just align your faith with your values. And that can be as simple as saying you're going to take 15 minutes every day for a devotion and prayer or meditation. Number 7 is your social goals, and that helps you build connections. Those can be attending networking events or reconnecting with old friends, whatever those are. But guys, knowing the different types of goals, how do we bring clarity into that? Because again, vague goals lead to vague results. So we want to make goals specific. And this is step 2 right here. SMART goal framework. You may have heard it somewhere. Not going to lie, I didn't come up with it either. But one of the best ways to structure your goals is by using this SMART framework. And that is making your goals specific. And what is specific goals? Well, they list out exactly what you want to achieve. Your goals need to be measurable. And how will you track your progress? They need to be achievable goals. And that just means, is it a realistic based on your resource and time? They need to be relevant. Does it align with your larger vision? And then time bound. You need to have a deadline for achieving your goal. So instead of saying, I want to get in shape, that's a vague goal, guys. We all say that. I'm in a pretty good shape. I'm pretty round myself. But instead of saying you want to get into shape, say, I'll exercise 3 times a week for 30 minutes. That's pretty specific, guys. So which areas resonate the most with you? I would like you to write down 1 to 2 goals for each of the 7 categories that I went over and make sure they're SMART goals. Make sure they're specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and give them a deadline, guys. Because when you have clear, balanced goals, they are the foundation for success and they give you direction and purpose. So step 2 is pretty long, guys. And I know that that's a lot to take in, and you could probably just pause right here and work on writing those out. But when you're ready to move on, step 3 is you need to break your goals into actionable steps. And how do you do that? How do you break down your big goal into manageable actions? Because big goals can feel overwhelming. Let's be honest, guys, if your goals don't scare you a little bit, they don't make you a little nervous, they're probably not big enough. But remember that progress happens one small step at a time. So take your big goal and let's reverse engineer it. And starting at the end goal, let's work backwards to where you are currently. And let's break it down into quarterly, monthly, or even weekly steps. What can you do every day, every week, every month, every quarter, to where when you get in a rhythm and you get that momentum rolling, you will hit your goal. So if your goal is to close, let's say 40 deals in 2025, that easily breaks into 10 deals a quarter. If your goal is to read 12 books in 2025, well, that easily breaks down to 1 book a month. How many pages or how many chapters do you need to read every day, every other day, to make sure that you finish that book in 30 days? That was a goal of mine in 2024, guys, was to read 12 books. And I'll be honest, I fell 1 book short. That's a goal of mine again in 2025. I have probably 40 books sitting on my bookshelf that I've bought and haven't read yet. And there is probably another 40 on my Amazon wish list. So I need to get to read. So, what is one big goal that you can break into smaller, actionable steps today? Write it down, guys. Make a plan. And focus on your next step, not the entire mountain. The old saying, how do you eat an elephant, kind of comes to mind. So how do you eat an elephant, guys? Well, 1 bite at a time. Step 4 is you need to build accountability with yourself. And goals are a lot easier to achieve when you have good support. Let's be honest, guys. Some of your friends and family, they may not be looking out for your best interest. They may not want you to succeed. You need to find people that you can trust with your goals, with telling them your big, crazy goals. And those that can help you and guide you, preferably a friend that has done it or a mentor that has done it. And if you can't find either one of those, just have an accountability partner, someone that you can bounce ideas off of and that you can trust, and that someone that really wants you to succeed. And then you can use tools like journals or planners or even these apps that help track your habits. And you need to set regular check ins to track your progress. Because if you don't know where you are, you kind of lose track of what you need to be working on to get to where you want to go. So, who can you share your goals with, guys? And how will you track your progress? You need to make sure that you're sharing your goals with someone that you can trust, because that accountability turns intentions into action. It keeps you going even when motivation fades. Remember in one of the previous episodes when I talked about setting the goal of getting my real estate license and saying I was going to have it done by February? This was to a dentist of all people. Well, I took that as a personal deadline and a personal accountability partner, even though they weren't checking in on me. That was just something that I told them, and I'm one of them guys that I follow through with what I say I'm going to do. And it made it happen. So, who can you share your goals with? And step 5, guys, and this is probably the biggest one, the most important one, guys, is having these big goals and these big plans all penciled out on paper. You can be working the plan to a T, but you need to stay flexible and you need to embrace change. That is step 5. Because let's be honest, guys, sometimes just life gets in the way. Life happens. Something comes up. You fall down, you get a paper cut. And sometimes your goals may need to shift. Perfect example, 2024. My wife and I, we were dead set on buying a rental property. We were going to Dealmaker Atlanta and Triple E, some of the real estate investing meetups here in Atlanta. And we were gung ho and we were putting in offers. But they didn't work out as planned. And thankfully they didn't, because life ripped a rug out from under me and lost my day job, right? If you lost your job today, how would that affect your goals? It'd probably make you pivot a little bit. And that's the reason you need to stay flexible and be able to problem solve and adjust and act, right? Sometimes an obstacle gets in your way. You have to figure out to either go over it or around it to get back on track with your goals. And remember that success isn't about rigidly sticking to your plan, it's about staying committed to your vision while adapting to the journey. So, those are the 5 steps to making sure that 2025 is your best year yet. Step 1, remember, you got to reflect on the past year. Write down on your paper 3 wins and a setback. And if you have more, write them all down. Reflect on it. Try to decipher why you won, why you lost. And then you need to define, in step 2, define clear and specific goals. Remember that there are 7 types of goals: financial, career, personal development, health, family, spiritual, and social. You need to have goals in all 7 aspects of your life, guys. And then you need, in step 3, to break down your goals into actionable steps. Reverse engineer, working from your end goal with your deadline, working backwards to where you are now, and what steps you need to take to make sure you hit your goal. And then number 4, have an accountability partner, have a mentor, have a trusted friend, guys. If you don't have one, try to find one. Let's be honest, your high school friends, they're probably not where you're at today. Y'all might have been friends 5, 10 years ago. And life happens, guys. Everyone goes their different ways. They have different goals. You have different goals. You need to find someone that aligns with your goals and where you want to be 5 years from now, not 5 years ago. And step 5, guys, you need to stay flexible and embrace the change. Look, everything doesn't always go as planned, sometimes for a better reason. Most of the time for a better reason, I'll say. So with that, guys, I'll go into a couple of my big goals for 2025. And I won't go into all 7 aspects. I'll share some. But we're going to move the 2024 big goal of buying a rental property. That is now top of the list for 2025. So, how are we going to do that? Well, I'm a real estate agent. I have access to the MLS, and I'm also in some great real estate investing groups that have other agents as well as investors in them to find a deal. That's the number one, guys. It's hard to be an investor if you can't find a deal. So, number one, find a deal. With that, though, I need to find some contractors, preferably before I need them, because with the way the market's been, guys, if you're an investor, you already know interest rates suck right now, especially compared to what they were a couple years ago, and that has gotten the numbers not great. So, got to find a deal that can be renovated and refinanced. So, I need some contractors to be able to do that. So, if you are a residential contractor in and around the south side of Atlanta or work south of Atlanta, my contact information is in the description below. Reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. Also, continue building lender relationships. I have some great mortgage friends that I work with on the retail side of real estate. I've also met some great guys on the investing hard money or private money space and can always find more. So, those are the big goals for 2025 on the investing side and some of the steps that I'm going to take to make sure it is achieved. Personal side. Again, I'm going to set the goal of reading 12 books in 12 months. All of them are going to be more personal development and business related. I don't read too many fun books, guys. I'm just going to be honest. Never really have. On the fitness side, my big tail needs to get back in the gym 3 times a week. I am tired of that scale starting with a 3, as for the last probably 5 or 6 years. Need to get back down to my fighting weight. Preferably, we can say, let's just say 270. So that would mean I probably need 2025. If I was to get down to 270, I'd need to shed off about 45 pounds. 6'4", 270. That number. Those numbers align pretty well in my head. So let's see how I can do that. So in the gym 3 times a week minimum. The biggest problem with me, guys, and I'm sure a lot of y'all relate to, I love to eat. It has always been my problem is eating more than I burn off. When I was in my younger years and I was spending 3 hours a day in the gym and working a job that required me to be on my feet all day, walking around, 5 or 6 miles a day at work and then going to the gym, it was easy to stay skinny because I worked off everything. Well, that has changed in the last 5 or 6 years, and it has caught up to me, especially around the waistline. So, fitness goal. Let's try to get back down at least under 300. Big goal of 270. Let's get back down to 270. Social stuff. This is kind of social and business related, but outdoor related also, guys. NWTF is the National Wild Turkey Federation convention. That is in Nashville, Tennessee in February. It's the week going into Valentine's Day, if I'm not mistaken. Rebecca and I, we plan on going up there and checking everything out. Went last year with some buddies, had a great time. I want to go back again this year. So we're going to put that on the 2025 board. Also, 2025, I want to get involved with the Georgia Forestry Commission or Prescribed Burn Association and do a learn and burn. Guys, land management is an interest of mine, and it's something that can be both business related with real estate as well as for fun. Something I want to get into. So I'm going to set a goal of 2025. I want to do a learn and burn, if not multiple, and might even look into getting my prescribed fire burn certification. Being as I'm in Griffin, Georgia, we got UGA Griffin here in town that does a cert twice a year. I might just go on and sign up for one of them. So that'd be pretty cool. Go set the woods on fire on purpose for a good reason. And last but not least, I might look into some real estate designations. I preferably, or the one that's kind of got my eye is looking into the accredited land consultant. And why would I want to do that? Well, I am the outdoor agent. I like working with land and want to work in land, as well as investing stuff. So, getting a designation as an accredited land consultant would increase my knowledge extensively on land and its use, and just be a allow me to be a better resource for my clients, and just be something that I might find interesting. So, with that, guys, those are some of my goals. I have more written down, but those are the ones I'll share on the internet. So, to recap, guys, what do we need to do? We need to reflect on the past year. We need to define clear and specific goals. We need to balance goals across the 7 types. We need to break down the goals into actionable steps. And then we need to build accountability and stay flexible with those goals. 2025 can be your best year yet, and it starts with intentional planning and consistent effort. Remember that every small step brings you closer to your vision. So, guys, I'd love to hear what your goals are for 2025. You can share one with me on Facebook or Instagram at Dakota Sells GA Property. And if you found this episode helpful, leave a review and share it with someone who's ready to crush their goals in 2025. And guys, as always, whether you're tracking trophy game, scouting for your dream home, or setting goals for the year ahead, remember, every hunt has a story. I'm Dakota Oshley, the outdoor agent, and we'll see you next time.